incest.
That for some reason, yeah, Star Wars, but a modern generation that you say that word and people go.
I've never heard incest get such a warm reception.
For all you parents out there, I promise it gets explained. I promise. Don't make that scene. Yeah, just think of Star Wars. No, but I really was a big fan, and I just want to continue going on that experience with Clary, and I don't want to get too muddled about which book comes in what order. And
all right, next, this is from Esther.
Oh my God!
This is for Jamie. Whose idea was it for you to keep and show off the Morgenstern ring? We love seeing it on you.
It was my idea. I always like to take little mementos from when I leave jobs. Generally, it's like we get these sort of really. How many? Yeah, we get these terrible chairs. I was going to swear, but there's kids and stuff on here. We get these chairs on set, and they have our names on the back, and it's cool, it's cool. I'm a kid from London, that's dope. So I wanted to take something a little more from this job. So I took the ring because it's such an important part of the movie. It's such an important part of the book, and we only had 3, and I asked the producers if I could have one, and it means a lot to me. This whole film means more to me than a lot of stuff that I've done. So I wear it every day just to remind me of how lucky I am.
He's got it on right now. All right, next from Stephanie in Miami for Kevin. In what ways can you relate to Alec?
You love me. Yes, I do. I love Jamie. Not in that way. I think any time you play a character, you have to find some, semblance of yourself in the character. I think Harold, the director, cast us all because we sort of have a lot of qualities that the characters have. Lily has a lot of Clary in her just naturally, and Jamie is very much like Jay's. I think a pretty universal theme for Alec is, and I think what most of the fans understand is, especially when you're younger, there's a discomfort with yourself and figuring out who you are, and it's definitely something I've dealt with, and I really appreciated that sort of part of his character, that he's a little enigmatic, you don't really know what's going on with him all the time, and it was a lot of fun to play. But mostly because I love Jamie.
All right, Lily, Jonathan wants to know, he says, shadow hunting takes a lot of physical work to do. Were your stunts hard? Were you ever injured or close to getting injured?
The stunts were hard. I had to keep up with the guys the whole time, but I was determined to. Girl power! Right, girl power. It does make it difficult when you're doing it in a very tight, short dress and 5-inch thigh-high leather boots. But I did it. I never fell once. I got bruised, but no falling. Not any injuries really. I think the first day or second day of filming, a stunt guy ran over my foot and I bruised a tendon, but it wasn't it didn't stop me.
I noticed the heels you're wearing now, they're not exactly short.
No, I got a lot of training on the movie for real life.
Right.
So now I can just run around in, whatever inch heels. Keep up with these.
What trait or quality do you admire the most about your character?
I'll let these two answer that.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, there you go. I won't say anymore because they're so bored of me saying that by now. But it's true. It is true.
Kevin. Yes. Besides the character, this is from Elizabeth in Miami. Besides the character that you play, who is your favorite character from the series?
Honestly, I really like the character of Simon. I've seen the film. And I really like his character. Having seen the film, Robbie's excellent in the film anyway. I think he was. But to be honest, they sent me the script, and the character that I read and wanted to play was Alec, so I kind of got lucky in that they decided that they liked me for that one as well.
Wow, that's cool. So this is the character you want. It's like you were casted for the role that you actually wanted.
Right, right.
Which is probably rare.
It's, yeah, very rare.
Because usually you're like, look, I'll just take it, just give me a job.
Whatever role I can get, right, yeah.
All right, Lily, how do you and Clary relate in real life? How are you like her in your everyday life?
I am extremely close with my mom, and that was something that from the get-go I read and I thought, wow, to be able to portray a teenager girl relationship with her mom in this way, as opposed to it always being this kind of bratty teenager to her mom, was a really cool new relationship to show. And I'd like to think that I would go on the same journey that Clary goes on to find my mom. And she's really excited and passionate, and it's okay to be nervous and vulnerable for her, but I think she never falls victim to her journey, and I thought that was really important.
From Kelly in Pembroke Pines, Jamie. Were there any pranks you played on the other cast members, or that anybody played on you?
Be honest.
I gotta be honest. You look like a party animal. You look like a lot of fun.
I can be fun sometimes. Don't need you. We'll go play tonight. Twerk. That's for you, Kevin. You have to twerk. I can screw up lines a lot, and when I screw up lines, I always make them sound like a little bit more explicit than they should sound. So Lily, when we were shooting, had to deal with me saying things that weren't necessarily meant to be said, and it took a few times to sort of get them right. And then when I did get them right, she would still be giggling because of the fact that I'd said them wrong before. And there were a few F-bombs and stuff dropped by accident, so I'm sorry. Can I say a line that I said wrong?
Yes!
No!
Marcy from Miami, Kevin wants to know, what was the funniest moment for you while filming the entire movie?
Well, I had a break in the middle of filming, and I flew back to go see my wife.
Now, was that an awe of disappointment or an awe of how sweet? Okay.
Thank you. And I'm a really bad flyer, so I have to take medication when I fly. And I showed up on set with a big basket of cookies for Jamie that I convinced the flight attendant to give me. They make fresh baked cookies on the airline, so I showed up in not a very good state, and I showed up.
What airline do you fly? Any airline I get, they give me a bag of peanuts and tell me to be quiet for 3 hours.
American Airlines, baby. Yeah. Fresh baked cookies every time. There she is, nice. My frequent flyer number's 4M679W4.
He'd like mash them all together as well in this what was it?
Like tinfoil.
Tinfoil. He'd like put like the chocolate ones and the white chocolate ones all together, so it turned up in this big ball of like gooey, doughy mess. And he's like, Jamie, I bought you this gift. Dude, I can't eat those.
Real quick, one last question. This is for all three of you guys. When you look back at the movie and you watch it, is there any scene where you're like, oh, I think I could have done that better, or I wish I would have done something different, or is there anything at all in the movie that you see and think, you know what, maybe in the next time in the next movie, I'll do something a little different, or just something portrayed differently from you?
I mean, I should not to speak for them, but from watching the film myself, I think it's, especially because it's the first of, people have expectations for this film, but I think we wanted to make a really good film for people who may not have read the books also. So I think part of what we did and what we tried to do is just sort of make a great film. And hopefully, the fans, I'm sure, hopefully will love it, but I also want people who have never read the books, never heard of the books, to be able to go and see a film. So I think the performances in this film, aside from me, are excellent. And especially I think that Lily really has to carry this film. And I think her consistency and the ability for the audience to follow along with her is something that was quite remarkable to watch.
That's awesome to know. So if you haven't read the books, you can just jump right in and watch the movie.
Of course. I mean, I'm a 28-year-old guy, and I enjoyed. I went to the screening room at Sony, and I had the best time. And you know, I'm not exactly the demographic of people who have read these books, and I love this movie. I mean, it's full of action, and it's funny, and it's fast, and I loved it. So.
Yeah. I think it's very rare to look back on a project and actually have your life during filming and the film blend so much that you can't actually remember when you were working and when you were having fun, because the whole experience was like summer camp. And I think it's hard to watch it back and go, I would have done that differently, because I know how much I put into it and how much everyone put into it, and how at the end of the day we all went home exhausted but so proud. And so I think when you feel that proud of what you've done, it's really hard to have any regrets. It just makes me more excited to go back for the second one and maybe give it like even more for the action, especially because Clary shows more potential with her action. But I think we all know each other so well now that going back we'll have even more to play with when it comes to the improv or knowing our characters better. So no regrets, just even more excited for the second.
I mean, like, for all of us, and for myself, and I guess it's like performers anyway, we're very self-critical of whatever it is that we do. It's just sort of in our nature. Like, I felt like that as a kid as well. I felt like I hated myself and whatever, like, and I went back and I watched the movie, and it was like the first thing that, obviously, you know, for a lot of us, it's the first time that we're sitting there and we're involved in such a huge picture, and like we have you guys support, and it's such a big deal for us. And like I sat down and I was so proud of what we'd done that there was at no point that I looked at any of us and went, I could have done that better, or like someone could have done that better than me. Like, we put 120% into this. Because genuinely, it means so much to us. Like, it really does. And we really appreciate you guys. So, we think you guys are dope.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you so much for coming out.
One more time, guys.